Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. This is the Glow Theory Podcast. I'm your host, Jane Marie, and welcome to this episode. So, in today's episode, we are going to be talking about reinventing yourself. Okay, listen, reinventing yourself is a specialty of mine because when I look back at like even a few years from now, jump scare, and it's embarrassing, it's cringy, but I have to accept and honor the past because she's a part of the story, she's a part of the journey, and I just have to accept it. But I just have reinvented myself over and over again because I was healing, I was growing, I was changing, I was maturing and discovering more things about me that I didn't know. Let's talk about reinventing. And I don't just mean like the physical attributes. I feel like the physical attributes kind of happen when you start to work on yourself on the inside. And I feel like when you start to change and heal internally, it will represent and show itself on the outside. And people are going to act like I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. So, if you are not new, obviously, we do segments here. We talk about sections at a time. So, we're going to start with segment one. Okay, so segment one, I wrote what reinvention really is. We're going to talk about what it is because it can be misunderstood and seen as something that, in my opinion, is not. Like I was saying, it's not just like the physical attributes. It's not just about, changing your hairstyle and being like, I reinvented myself, girl. Um, you know what? I'm not gonna hate on anybody's train to whoever does that and claims that's reinventing themselves, whatever. But I feel like there's layers to it. There's a lot more depth to it instead of just, changing one physical attribute about yourself and claiming that's reinvention. In my books, no, I don't think so. So reinvention, obviously, like I was saying, is not just about waking up and randomly chopping your hair and saying like, yeah, it's reinvention. I reinvented myself today. In my books, it's a lot deeper than that. It's not about changing who you are. It's about going in and peeling back layers of yourself that was closed up for whatever reason. And whatever reason meaning, trauma, pain. It's about peeling back those layers of, who you are not and becoming the most authentic person you can be, and those layers of trauma, conditioning, or just carrying the weight of trying to be someone else that you're not, to appease the crowd, to appease the people around you. So when I talk about reinvention, like think about it like a glow up. It's not just the physical, it's the internal, the spirit, the soul, the mind, the everything. Because I swear, when you start changing on the inside and, you know, making sure you're cleaning out the gunk that's stuck in there, you will change physically. I believe that because. And it's also deciding that you don't have to be the person that you were in your past or even yesterday. It's about, hey, I get the chance to evolve, to grow, and to change from what I was before to be better, to do better for me. Alrighty, so we're gonna move on to segment two. This is gonna be a quick, speedy, cute little video. So segment two, it's going to be kind of like the signs that you need to reinvent yourself. So it's like, how do you know it's time to reinvent yourself? Because some people really don't. Some people don't know when it's time to evolve or change, and they stick to old programming and stick to the same pattern and walk the same path and beat the same drum. And it's like boring, basic. We don't like that over here. We like to change things up. So, sign number one, you feel drained by your current routine or environment. So, wherever you're at, wherever you're working, wherever you are around, or whomever you're around, it feels heavy. It feels like, ugh. You come home after being at work at this toxic workplace, and it's like, oh my God, like, end it now type of thing, type of feeling, just so tired. And it's like, oh, damn, I got wake up the next day at the same time and do the exact same shit and see the same faces all over again. Yeah. It's like that feeling is not just like every now and then, because obviously we're going to feel drained from time to time. It's like every day, consistently, every hour, you just feel tired and drained. Or, being around certain people, you feel extremely drained and exhausted after leaving, too. After leaving the function, you feel tired and exhausted. Like, oh my God, you know, it's time to revamp. It's time to change something. Your routine is just not enjoyable anymore. And yeah, that's when you know it's time to change. So, number two, the things that used to excite you feel so dull. Wow. For me, that was one of my biggest indicators where I lost touch with so many things that used to excite me. Like, this was a few years back though, before the reinvention. Lost touch with like playing instruments, like playing the piano and the guitar and all these other instruments I played. Like I lost touch with that, and I just didn't want to do it anymore. And I used to sketch a lot. Like I loved art, I loved painting, and I didn't want to do it anymore. I used to write a lot of like poetry or just, like short stories or something like that, or like lyrics to songs. Didn't like doing it anymore. This was definitely the era when I was just around really unfortunate people that I wish were not in my life, but shit, I needed the extra lessons. So, when I had these certain connections or being in environments with these said certain people, like it was just draining my energy and draining me away from the things that I used to enjoy and what I used to love. So that's another big indicator. It's like your body just no longer has the time for other things, or like it doesn't have the motivation, like your body, your nervous system, it doesn't have the motivation to do the things that excite you anymore. It's like, girl, change yourself or something. Like, we're bored here. We don't want to stick around this boring BS. So if things that used to excite you now just feel dull, babes, it's time. Okay, number three, you're craving something new, but you can't put your finger on what. So, this for me, it's like there was a moment in time where I was losing a lot of shit. It was such a crazy moment. Not a moment, a very decent amount of time that was just like, whew, spiraling out of control. But it's like I just wanted things to change and get better, but I didn't know how. I didn't know where to start. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know where to look to. But I was just like, fuck, man, I just want things to be better. I want things to get better. And that's, how I ended up in intensive therapy. um, but yeah, it's different for everybody. It's not going to be the same. But for me, it started with therapy. What had to change was my insides and cleaning out the gunk, getting rid of the disgusting shit that was just lying in there. And, once I did that, I started coming back around to the things that used to excite me. And lastly, number five, which is you feel like you've outgrown certain people, habits, or spaces. So, like I'm saying, like the environments that you're in or certain people in your friend group, like goals are not really aligning. You don't really feel the vibes anymore. And for me, definitely lost a ton of people in my life that were just not for me, I guess. Like, the end of the road, like the chapter ended there. It ended there, right? And obviously we've met better people and have moved along and whatever, but for me, I knew like everything was just like ugh, like everything I was around was just like ugh. Like, get me out of this. Like, I don't want to be in this state. I don't know what this limbo of time is. Like, I hate it. Like, I don't know what it is, but I hate it. I don't want to be here no more. And that feeling of I feel like I'm stuck and I don't know how to get out of this led to a lot of other habits that were not so great, like drinking and smoking and um, not really taking the time to. This was pre therapy, by the way. This was like a few months before therapy. And yeah, just that feeling of like dullness and stuck and, you know, in that limbo of like, what the fuck? What the fuck am I supposed to do right now? Like, I don't know what's going on. And so, instead of processing the pain and going through my emotions and such, because I didn't know how to, right? This was pre therapy. I resorted to just drinking or smoking and just would pretend that all of my that reality did not exist for a short amount of time. And that was quickly changed for me. I don't know. Yeah. And because I feel like there is like some sort of guardian angel or some being, because every time I try and just like give up on something or on myself, that shit just like, I don't know, like it just gets flipped in a way where it's like, no, you don't get to do that. And during that time or that limbo, when I was, um, bro, like, I remember, okay, I was staying with certain people at the time because I was couch surfing. I was homeless at the time. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go for my walk. And I had my cute little pen. If you know, you know. And I was going for my walk. I had it in my pocket and everything. And I had like a little small bottle of like vodka. Yeah, I was down bad. Anyways, so going for my walk, it's going upstairs, and literally, I don't know if I dropped it or something. My pen, it was gone. Like, I don't know if I didn't know if I dropped it or anything, because even when I look back to see like where the fuck it was, gone. Not there anymore. So I'm like, okay, at least I have my drink. So, and I was really disappointed because I had no money to pay for another thing of, right, because that era of time we were struggling. We were struggling. So, and I was like, whatever, I have my drink, it's fine. So go for my walk, and I'm like about to sit on, I don't know, this rock in this field, whatever it was, away from people and whatever. Try and open the bottle. Falls, slips out of my hand, whole thing gone. And at that point, I was like, wow. Yeah, I was pissed. I was definitely not happy. But that's what I mean by like, I swear there's something or someone trying to like, every time I try and like fail myself, it's like, no, you don't get to do that. If something happens, it shakes up something, and I no longer can, wallow or self destruct anymore. I'm not saying I'm not grateful, but it's like, damn, let a girl experience or something. I'm kidding. I'm joking. But yeah, those are signs. Those are all invitations from God, the universe, whatever, yourself, your higher self. That's literally you telling you it's time. That's your body telling you it's time to change, to reinvent, to heal, to grow, to evolve, because we don't like this limbo. We don't like staying in this limbo. Those are just signals from your soul expressing for a new chapter. Alrighty, we're going to move on to segment number 3. And segment 3 is the fears that hold us back. All right, so obviously, let's be real. Reinvention, it sounds beautiful. It sounds magical. It sounds like, oh my God, I'm going to wake up and, like everything's going to be okay. And like a few months from now, everything is going to be amazing. The sun is going to be even more yellow than it was yesterday. The sky more blue, like shit like that. But it's like, it's not fucking easy. Reinventing yourself on my terms, on what I understand to be true, because this is how I processed it, was not easy. it was not easy at all because it's like you're battling yourself. It's like you're battling certain parts of yourself that you didn't think existed, that you didn't know needed to be challenged and removed and up the fuck out of there. You know what I mean? And it's like there's for me, there's definitely a lot of triggers and a lot of trauma that I had to dig away at and get rid of. And the fear I'm talking about, it comes in a lot of different forms, obviously, but I'm going to talk about one of the fears of, kind of like facing yourself, facing your demons, being that mirror for you, and going up against the things that you didn't think you would be going up against within yourself, if that makes sense. And it's like kind of battling the ego mind and letting go of certain habits and things. And it's hard. And there's a lot of fear because it's like this newer person that you are trying to be and the person that you're trying to let go of. Of course, there's fear because it's like, I don't know who this new person is. I don't know who or how to be this person without these said things that you already have within yourself. And it's like, it really does take a lot of strength and to let go of fear and know and understand that you'll be okay, that you'll be fine, that, everything works out. A lot easier said than done. But yeah, that fear of like changing and transforming is hard, especially internally as well. Like when you're reinventing internally, like I said, facing those certain demons that you still have inside of yourself. That was something that was very terrifying to be looking at and to be facing within myself because I didn't realize I had these certain demons and certain things that I had to uncover and move in a way that was not so ego based. And ego based, what I mean is, being so fixated on external validation, people pleasing, um, the materialistic parts of this world, and, you know, operating from a place of fear instead of love. You know what I mean? That's what I mean by ego based. And a lot more of that fear comes from fear of judgment, what people will think if I suddenly change. And for me, that was definitely another thing that I struggled with too, because it's like when I was first reinventing myself or becoming different or whatever, I was still very much in the mindset of, um, being perceived and like getting out of that people pleasing phase and, all that bullshit. Because I remember in that era too of healing and rediscovering myself, I was changing up my style a bit and I was kind of scared to do that too. The fear of judgment. And also like the friend group I had at the time, ex friend group, when you change, you're going to lose a lot of people. I feel like if they're no longer aligned with your path and your goal. And that was what happened essentially. But it's okay. We made new ones. Another fear is fear of failure. So what if I try to reinvent myself but I can't keep it up? And honestly, get that fear out of your head because that doesn't exist. It's like like it does exist because it really is a mental game. It's all about you and whether or not you're going to allow yourself to revert back to this certain person that you were that you don't want to be, right? It's you against you. You have to figure out, you have to decide whether or not you want to keep being this newer version of you. And obviously it's going to be hard. Obviously there might be some setbacks. That is plenty okay as long as as long as you're recognizing too, like, oh shit, I'm kind of falling back into my old habits and my old patterns. So it's like, that's really good when you are recognizing. That still means you're evolving. um because it gets easier over time when you continue to operate in a better state and recognize certain things that you don't want or certain triggers. For me, like, wow, yeah, I'd get triggered a lot, and it took me a while to really get out of that and realize that it's just all a mental game. It's literally just a versus me versus me, right? It's like, what am I going to allow for myself, and challenging myself in my brain too whenever it tried to fall back into old habits or old patterns or old negative thoughts and shit like that. And it took a while, but we made it through. Alrighty. And lastly, the fear of letting go. It's like, who am I without this identity? Oh, that's the ego talk. That is you fighting with your ego. That's what I mean by like, who am I? You're still you, babes. You're just better and more improved. And it's hard for you to see that at the time because obviously the ego loves control, it loves comfort, it loves staying nestled in this lower energy because that's what it's used to. And it's like when you build yourself so much on ego base, of fear, of people pleasing, of trauma, of conditioning and shit like that, that's not even you. Those are just layers of you that you picked up from your perception of the world, from the perception of life, from whatever your brain had to do to mask itself, I guess. So that's technically not even you. You're peeling back layers. And the more you peel, there's a bug in here. I heard a little anyways, the bug is no longer with us. Fuck. It's like fucking messed up what I was saying. But you're still peeling back layers of you that you have yet to discover, that you have yet to know. So it's like, it's not who am I? It's like, who am I becoming? Who is this person that has been hiding? And that, for me, that was something I struggled with for a very long time. It's like, who am I stepping into? This feels unsafe. This feels scary. I'm not sure. Obviously, the battle with the, newer version of myself and the ego, it's scary. Ego's like, okay, this doesn't seem safe. It's new, so we don't know if we like it. And such a mental game, y'all. It is really such a mental game. And I just forced myself to challenge those thoughts and challenge whatever negative thing my brain tried to pop in my mind. And, fear is an illusion, is what I would tell myself constantly over and over and over again because it is. And slowly that helped with my confidence in me and being authentic and expressing who I am and peeling back more layers of me that I didn't even know existed, So it's not about who I'm scared of letting go. It's more so I'm evolving. I'm letting go to become who I am, to evolve, to see more of who I am. But yeah, to close that up, I'm just going to say reinvention, it requires a lot of courage and self love because you want to change because you want better for you. So, self love. It doesn't require perfection though. There's no like test at the end of this that you have to write. There's no like, it's not like a this intense thing. It's a process. You got to do what you got to do that works for you, and however long that's got to take, it takes, right? And however many times you got to restart to, you know, keep peeling back layers of you. And that is plenty okay. Because it's like, who the fuck am I to judge? No one's judging you. I'm not judging you. It's only you judging yourself. Just about whether or not you're going to allow yourself to change and evolve and peel back those layers. I don't know why I did that so seductively, but yeah, we're going to move on to segment number 4. Segment 4 is how to begin your reinvention. So it's like, where the fuck do I start? Like, a lot of people are like, where do I fucking start? Like, where do I go? I'll just give like a few ways of how and where you can start. So, number 1, I wrote audit your life. So, for me, it's like I'm it's like you're cleaning out a junk drawer. So you're going to make a list of what feels heavy in your life and what doesn't, what drains you and what doesn't. You don't have to make a fucking list if you don't want to. I don't do whatever. But I'm just saying, like, decide in your life what feels draining and what doesn't, what you need to let go of and what you get to allow in your life. It's like pros and cons of certain things and areas in your life. And most importantly, making a list of what makes you feel alive, what inspires you, what sparks your joy, who and what does that. You know what I mean? Because those are the people you want to be closest to. You want to keep in your circle. The ones that make you feel drained, you need to cut them out. Alrighty, number 2, choose one small shift. So, reinvention obviously does not happen all overnight, and not everything is going to change all overnight. Like, it's a process. In this video, it's a process, and how I did it was a process. So, for you, you can start with something light, something easy that makes you feel good. And if you got to chop your hair to do that, period, cross that off the list. Now we're going to keep going. We're going to keep going. But if you want to create a little more change, start with like a new routine or placing a new boundary with yourself or changing up an old habit that you don't want to cling on to and just sticking to it, repeating it. Number 3 is releasing old narratives of yourself. Stop playing the victim in your story. Yeah, stop playing the victim in your story, because literally this whole entire life shit, it's you against you, right? Like I've been saying, it's a mental game, and the past is in the past now. So it's like whatever you did in the past, that's no longer irrelevant. It doesn't exist in this present time. It doesn't exist in this reality right now. So instead of having these old narratives in your head, like, God, I used to do this, like da 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 da, whatever negative shit that was a past narrative that doesn't apply, let that shit go. Stop playing victim to your, don't let your brain try and convince you that you're a victim in this story. You're a victim in this lifetime. Change it. Make a new story today. Instead of, I used to do this. No, actually, I don't do this anymore. Actually, I do this now. Repetition is key. Telling yourself, I'm not going to play victim. No, I'm not playing victim anymore. This is not who I am anymore. I'm letting go of that. That's the past. It doesn't exist to me anymore. That's not me. So, number 4, create a vision for the new you. So, journal, visualize, create manifestation boards, create on Pinterest. It's easy and free. Create a board of things that you want to achieve, that you want to do, that you want to create, that you want in your life. For me, I love vision boards. They are my everything, because it is a form of manifestation, and also it's telling yourself, the universe, God, whomever, that this is what you want and this is what you deserve. So this is what you're going to get, right? And when you have that mindset of this is what I want, this is what I deserve, this is how I'm going to get it, and it's all laid out right in front of your face when you wake up. My vision board is literally in my room. Like I see that shit every day and I'm like, yes, 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 yes. A lot of them we have been accomplishing. There's a lot more on there that I've been adding, but we know sure as hell with the right timing and the right people and the right situations, it's happening, period. So create that for yourself, or journal too. I love journaling as well. Literally would fill books. I would fill them up so quick. Not as much anymore. There's not a lot of trauma that I'm working through anymore. So um but yeah, journaling, releasing and writing down things I want, things I deserve, things that I want to improve on as a person, as a woman, things that I would love to achieve, shit like that. And try embodying this said version of her or him, whatever, who cares? I don't judge. Start embodying that person today. If you want to be this, and this, with this, and this, embody that, carry that energy, walk around like you already have that. Because when you are affirming things in your reality, literally the reality has no it has nothing else to do but to match that reality to what you are thinking, to what you are affirming today, to what you are telling yourself today. So do that. Be her. Walk around like you are her or him. Over here, ladies first. Number 5, ritualize it. So we're not talking about hoodoo, voodoo, fucking rituals. We are just talking about cleansing your space, creating a new skincare routine. I talk about skincare all the time. Cleaning out your closet, doing color coordinated clothes. Oh, I love that. Creating a new playlist. I don't know if I already said that, but yeah, I recently created a new playlist because my old playlist had all the songs that reminded me of my past. Just reminded me of a certain era of time that I didn't enjoy, and I just kept adding new songs to it. But it's like most of these fucking songs I don't listen to, and I only added them on here for certain said people, situations, and fuck. So I made a new playlist with a new photo, and it's cute. It's giving the songs that I actually used to really fucking love, and then I lost touch because certain people fucking ruin everything. But anyways, and then I got back in, got back into my certain artists that I used to listen to. And yeah, creating a new playlist for me is big because I love music. Music is everything to me. So that's like a form of like ritualizing it. That's like a form of cleansing and like a form of reinventing, I guess. You can also just go buy a new journal. Start your process of reinvention today. Go buy that journal today, to yesterday, actually. Just little things like that. But yeah, that's pretty much everything. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I'm going to start closing off here. But yeah, reinvention is not a overnight thing. It's not like a one-time event. Reinvention is a process, and you are going to be reinventing yourself over and over again as you age because times are changing, because things around you are evolving. The trends are changing. Your hairstyle is going to change. Your soul is going to change. And as you age, you're going to understand certain things, and you're going to change, you're going to evolve, and it might not match with this current state of you because this newer information, this newer whatever is speaking more to you. So you're going to evolve, you're going to change, and that is okay. We're meant to evolve, we're meant to change. We're not meant to stay stagnant, the same boring ass. Oh God, imagine. That is such an NPC type shit thing to do. But over here, we don't do that. Alrighty. Thank you all for watching. Stay tuned for the next video whenever that drops. I'm busy in my life with very exciting things, situations, people, whatever. So, yeah, stay tuned for the next video whenever that pops out. Bye.